to Caribbean Connections, Caribbean Airlines Thought Leadership Series, where we sit and chat with some of the leading personalities in the region. Today, we're on location at Secret Bay, Dominica. Secret Bay is Gregor Nassief's love letter to Dominica. Here, in the lush and tranquil environment, he's basically realized a dream of tranquility, peace, all immersed in nature. Gregor, welcome to Caribbean Connections.
Thank you very much, John. It's very nice to be here with you.
It's a pleasure to be here, and we have the absolute delight of being on location here at Secret Bay, where we have vistas of Guadeloupe off and the vast serene expanse of the Caribbean Sea as our backdrop. So we're better.
Indeed.
So, Gregor, your main career, really, you are a businessman, and your technology company, Texas, is well known in Latin America. That really is your mainstay and your career path of sorts. Was it always your intention or your plan to return to Dominica to invest in business?
It was certainly my plan to return here. I always felt that I needed to return home. I don't think I would like to be anywhere else. But I was away for most of my life, and the plan was to return here and to take a bit of break from the stressful corporate life of the technology sector. But it was not my intention to invest here and to start a business here. So that occurred, I think, as a result of my DNA, which I always feel I need to be doing something new and innovative. So,
Understandably so. And I can certainly appreciate why, when you're in Dominica, you don't want to leave. There is absolutely no motivation to leave Dominica. The lushness of the landscape, the vibe of the people, and there is something for everyone to do. That experience in terms of your finance and your IT academic background, how has that impacted or influenced the running of your business as an eco hotel?
well, I can't say that it has had a very specific influence. It is more that it gave me the business perspective and from a finance point of view to ensure that we keep focused on the business side of things. I think the adventure into hospitality for me was more because I just saw the opportunity to do something very special here and to kind of showcase what Dominica has to offer. And that was more the driving force. And I don't think that there was really any specific influence from a finance or from an IT perspective in terms of how the businesses were set up or what gave birth to the ideas that we have been able to implement.
Speaking of the idea of setting up business and the start of Secret Bay, it's a wonderful segue into curiosity against when Secret was established or when you started laying the foundation for Secret, and it was opened around 2011 or so.
Right.
And it has the distinct brand and the distinct presence of being Dominica's first 5-star hotel. As a matter of fact, this year, Caribbean Journal has named Secret Bay as one of the coolest places to visit. It is easily understandable. With that in mind, when you opened your doors in 2011 as the first 5-star resort in Dominica, did you have to create that narrative Or did you find that it existed? So it was, you simply had to build upon that to get persons to identify with Dominica as a luxury destination.
Yeah, so we are 6 star, not 5 star, and we say that based on the level of personalized service. So we aim for more than 5 star. In terms of the challenges of being the first in the luxury space, and whether we had to work very hard to reposition the destination for the luxury market. I would say that that the definition or the concept of luxury has changed significantly over the past 20 or 30 years. So luxury used to mean marble floors and butlers in waiting. So this was the concept. And I think it has evolved significantly since then to mean experiencing the things that are very, very hard to find now. So the luxury of time and space, the luxury of an unspoiled natural environment, the luxury of fresh, healthy, organic food, the luxury of clean air and clean water. And so we feel that this is what persons are actually seeking now. So we felt that it was a natural combination in terms of what Secret Bay created as a concept with what the destination had to offer. So it's not something we felt that we had to try to reestablish a destination, because these things are all here, and it's just to really focus more on those experiences. And we certainly wanted to position Secret Bay at the higher end of that market. But the way we have set it up and what the destination has to offer made it, I think, a fairly seamless experience. So persons started to come very quickly. We got a lot of press and attention, which obviously helped a great deal. And of course, we work very obsessively to ensure the service is where it needs to be.
Understood. So the thing is, that's the secret of Secret Bay, that you are offering an authentic, bespoke experience. We mentioned before the hustle and bustle of corporate life, but when you're here, you have the privacy that you need, you have the attention if you require it, and of course, the unenviable, or rather the enviable atmosphere and environment.
The natural environment, yes.
The natural environment.
We aimed very hard to create the opportunity for guests to reconnect to nature, to reconnect to themselves, and to reconnect to the ones that they love. So we tried to create the environment and the opportunity for that, and of course all the while with the opportunity to explore the island and all that it has to offer.
You know, Gregor, you are, by any benchmark, a very successful businessman. We have a lot of young and upcoming entrepreneurs in the region who are trying to find the space. What advice can you offer in terms of skills that they should perhaps hone in order to be successful in business? Whether that business is technology, whether it's a hotel, whether it's clothing, whatever the business is. Are there particular critical success factors that you can highlight?
Well, I would say that I think very often there is a misconception that the purpose of a business is profit. And I think that if you really think it through, the purpose of a business is to create customers. So the purpose of your management team and how you run the business is to be profitable. And the advice to entrepreneurs will be to really focus on creating a product or service that creates customers, and therefore to have an obsession with the customer satisfaction side of things, because once you get that right, then everything kind of falls into place. And I think that many times the focus on the profitability side of things creates a very short-term vision for what you should be doing as an entrepreneur. And clearly, if you are trying to achieve the longer-term success of the business, it's really all about the customer.
So, in short, really, it is about looking for that lifetime value, so to speak. So, you invest in that consistent customer experience to ensure that the experience itself is unforgettable, and that essentially makes the business sell itself, so to
Correct.
speak. Because
Correct.
happy customers don't leave a business. Happy customers are your repeat customers. And even if they don't repeat immediately, they will spread the word. And word of mouth is still a very powerful influence in business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it also speaks to the fact that we may all have ideas, but if those ideas are not bought, are not successfully sold to a customer and to the market, then we're kind of spinning our wheels. So I think that very intense focus on what the customer needs and what we need from a product and a service to ensure customer success or customer satisfaction is key.
And sometimes it is, and I'm not downplaying or oversimplifying it, but at times it's as simple as putting ourselves in the position of the customer and thinking, what would I want out of this? What is the type of experience I'm looking for? Even with the simplest things, whether it is if you're in a food business, whether you're selling clothing, whatever it is, putting yourself in that position of the customer so that you're better able to understand and craft an experience that becomes positively unforgettable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
More and more in the region over the last 3 to 5 years or so, we're hearing more and more about sustainability and creating sustainability in tourism and in other areas. As a region, do you have any thought on how, as a collective, we can genuinely put things in place so that it impacts our regional product, so that we in fact have a presentation to the world that is sustainable? Dominica is doing very well in that regard. So, for example, the reserve for the whales is being established. Your resort, in and of itself, highly sensitive in terms of the sustainable aspects. You plant a lot of what is used on the resort. You employ different types of technology. What more? How can we establish a framework where there is a regional benchmark of sorts towards sustainability in real terms?
Okay, well, I mean, I think that part of the challenge that the Caribbean has is that because we are so tourism focused and dependent, there is this constant drive to grow the visitors. So we want more and more
Numbers.
more and more persons to come
Yes.
to the Caribbean. So we want 500,000 this year and 1 million in the next 5 years and so on. And I think that makes sustainability very, very challenging. And I think we kind of need to shift the focus so that even if we don't actually grow the numbers substantially, we grow the yield per visitor so that the economic contribution continues to grow, even though the numbers are not off the charts growing. And I think that that is very key to achieve a more sustainable economy and to reduce the impact on the natural environment. And I believe that it's important that we start to benchmark the yield per visitor to make the tourism industry more sustainable and to try to drive up the yield more than the numbers. And how do you drive up the yield? You try to create more authentic experiences in the country. You try to get the tourists to visit the communities more, to spend more there. You try to get the properties and the chains to purchase more locally. As a tourism industry, it's extremely sad if you look at the percent of fruits and vegetables and foods we are importing. So there's a whole series of things we need to do to look at sustainability from a much more holistic perspective, and to ensure that we're achieving those goals where we are creating a more sustainable economy and not depending entirely of trying to increase the numbers each year, because that in fact can have a negative impact on the natural environment and so on.
You see, your finance comes heavily into play there, because when you speak about yield per customer, that is a financial perspective on things that is quite useful when looking at customers and value in terms of a destination. So what we're looking for really is value in terms of what the customer brings and what we offer them by way of experience. I visited a particular destination last year, and in going around, by about the third day, I became very curious. I was thinking, but what's going on? Because there wasn't much activity. And then it dawned on me, Dion, people pay for the luxury of peace.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a key selling point in terms of some destinations.
That's an important point. And I think longer term, more and more people are looking to get away from the crowd.
Yes.
And not to arrive to crowded places. And that also will force us over time to focus more on the yield and less on the numbers.
Yes, so the quality of the experience, the
exactly.
authenticity of the experience versus let's get numbers.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yep.
I see. So you see sustainability in terms of a longer perspective, really being very strategic in your approach to what is important to us as a destination and the product that we are offering to our customers.
Correct.
Gregor, it has been a delight speaking with you, getting your perspective on various aspects of tourism and sustainability. Before we close, is there anything else you would like to add?
I would like to thank Caribbean Airlines because the new service to Dominica,
Yes, 4 times weekly.
4 times weekly, is fantastic. And we appreciate the service very much, and it certainly creates more opportunities for us here. So we are very, very sincerely thankful for it. And I hope more Trinidadians now with a direct flight will come and experience
Dominica.
the island.
Well, left up to me, I'm certainly encouraging as many people as I can, and even beyond the gate, because the flights facilitate easy connections from North America, from the eastern seaboard, and from Toronto as well.
That's correct.
So-
it opens up a lot of doors for the destination.
Yes, indeed. And we want that type of quality visitor who can certainly come and experience Dominica, the quite rightfully positioned as the nature island with something for everyone. Gregor,
Correct.
it has been a pleasure having you as our guest on Caribbean Connections. It is wonderful to be here at Secret Bay. You've hit the nail on the head in terms of a product. And we thank you for your contribution to business, and we look forward to building this relationship.
Okay, thank you very much, John, for the opportunity. It's been an absolute pleasure also for me, and we hope to see you again here often.
Yes, indeed.